great community, VC Comms community. We had this lovely session with Ethan, CEO of Graphite, yesterday in person in San Francisco. It was so juicy. We loved it. And there were so many like nuggets kind of flying around that y'all were requesting like, hey, can we have a little recording of the like take home, take away type of things that you can hopefully send to your or showcase to your GPs so that they could know what's up in this AEO, GEO world, which frankly, as I mentioned yesterday, Ethan, is like the Wild West right now. It's like early SEO days when it was just like, buy a bunch of keywords and let's just like juice up the website that way. And I wanted to confirm from you, how does it feel right now just in the industry? And you came from SEO background, by the way. That was your whole industry previously.
I started in 2008 doing SEO, and it does kind of feel like that when there's a lot of uncertainty and it's the Wild West. Also, whenever there's these new channels, there's like 1 to 3 years to come in and land grab before everyone else has figured it out. Like when Pinterest got big, you could land grab, get a bunch of stuff in Pinterest, and then you have the quality controls, and they're not sufficient quality controls in AI, I would say. So for better and worse, there's the time to land grab. And then I shared this one
go ahead and share
image that I want to share with you again. So it's much bigger than we think because most of the projections say, well, at some point it'll overtake search. It's actually 58% the size of search, but search isn't going down, it's additive. And so basically organic is getting much bigger, which is great because rather than everything being paid, organic is getting bigger and bigger. And there's a land grab because people haven't figured it out yet. So now is the perfect time to
I think that's like point number one. Now is the time. Now is the time if you're sitting in a fund going like, we got to land grab, we got to get it clear on what we do. One thing we talked about, Ethan, was the offsite owned and how critical that is. The consistency of your messaging on everything that's out there, your Crunchbase, your Wikipedia, just everything. Could you talk a little bit about that point?
Yeah, so AI usually doesn't say things that are wrong, and it's usually not going to bash your brand, but it's not going to have your brand positioning. And so, and that's common. It's common for the LLM to not describe your brand as you would like to. A common example of this would be if you start offering one particular feature and then you expand into more features, the LLM oftentimes doesn't know that. They just say, well, they only did this one thing. So frequently the brand positioning is not quite there. And then search is built for like if you show up number one, that's great. You come to your website, you control the brand, that's great. LLMs are summarizing what other people say about you, and they're looking for consensus. And the more they hear something, the more they believe it. And so you want as many URLs with your brand positioning as possible. The more, the better. And so
let's say the same thing, to be clear.
Let's say the same thing, and the correct brand positioning. So if I'm a VC, I want, and it's offsite owned.
Yes.
Which is not as important in search, and it's very important in AI. So offsite owned, and offsite owned is the most control. It's hard to get somebody else to say what you want. It's easy for you to say what you want.
That's right.
So for a VC, it would be owned is the best.
Yeah.
So for a VC, it would be Crunchbase, AngelList, LinkedIn, X. The more, the better.
The more, the better.
Right, and then
Instagram.
And it's hard to do. Like we've played around with this and other people reaching out saying, hey, you have a citation. Would you mention me? It's really hard actually. But what does work really well is to do a bunch of PR and mass syndication. The more, the better.
Yes.
Like we're working with this one company and the summarization of their brand is negative.
Ooh.
And it's because somebody said, they're expensive and they don't do this thing. Okay, so we could reach out to the person and say, hey, here's $500. Would you? Like that's really hard actually.
Yeah, it is.
What's much easier is just have as many positive things as you possibly can, and then just push the negative thing down, all saying what you want. And it's a lot easier for you to do PR and then maximize the syndication than it is to beg people to change their page how they want you to.
Okay, so that's like point number 2 is just maximize with consistency the brand narrative on your offsite owned.
Yes.
Now, a lot of folks were talking yesterday about like the on-site owned, which is like having that robust FAQ tucked somewhere on their website. That's like with the questions that someone might query, right? What is the best VC firm to invest in early stage fintech? Right?
Yeah. So usually for the most important questions, you've already covered them. You're fine.
Yeah.
It's for the more specific questions where there's usually a gap. So who's does this
Who's the
VC
top
firm?
investor in Austin? You were mentioning,
So
like, yeah.
yes, like what's the best VC firm in San Francisco? You're gonna be ranking pretty well for that probably.
Yeah.
But for a global VC, who's the best? Like, do they invest in Austin? Yeah, they do. They're nationwide. But who's the best in Austin? They won't mention nationwide VCs unless they have an office.
Yeah.
And so unless you explicitly say, here are all the cities I do, or like, here's all the categories, here's all the stages. This VC is known for late stage. They do early stage, but they don't really say it enough.
Yeah.
And so answering all these secondary, tertiary questions is usually where the opportunity is.
We also talked about press releases and like the comeback of press releases. So would you sit here and say, Ethan, issue your own damn press release and do one a month and like put it out there on the wire? Because there's no quality control basically right now in the Wild Wild West.
There's a lack of quality control.
There's a lack of quality control. Okay, better clarification.
Yes. So the classic case is, why am I doing press releases that no one reads?
Exactly.
And the answer is AI is reading them.
And the answer now is AI is reading them. Yeah, journalists were never reading them. Then that's not happening. But now AI is reading them. Yes.
AI loves press releases.
Okay. Does it matter? Okay, so next question. Does it matter which portal? PR Web, news, there's all these, news outlets, releases, whatever.
They all work. It's unpredictable. I just say do as much as you can.
Okay. What else, Ethan, from our conversation yesterday, or that you would want to emphasize? I think that's third point is like press releases. Yes, go bonanza.
Attribution is really hard because most answers have nothing to click on. But the channel, as I just showed you, is huge.
Yeah.
So thinking about attribution is important. You could ask people, oh, am I still there?
No, yeah, you're still here.
Okay. So you can, like, I'll just ask people on sales calls, and sometimes they'll just tell me, like, oh, I saw you on, usually they say, I saw your stuff on LinkedIn.
LinkedIn, yeah. You were saying that's your biggest channel.
Yep. So I would ask people how they heard about us. That could be in a sales call. It could be in this conversation. I get a transcript, and if it said, "Oh, I heard you about you," blah, 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 like trigger that, and then send an event somewhere. Or you could have a question in your conversion flow after, like, after I subscribe, ask a question. How did you hear about us? So you didn't disrupt the conversion. Because last touch is going to tell you a small fraction of what the actual impact is.
So are you just saying it because it's so sloppy right now, it's very hard to be like, oh my gosh, this is the question you asked that pulled up this?
Well, because there's nothing to click on.
Yes.
You can't track it with events. You can't track it with typical analytics.
Yeah,
you have to ask the person.
Directly. Okay. I think that's a good thing for GPs to know. Like, you got to ask the founder directly. Did you put it in a chat? Did you come up? How'd it go? Yeah. Oh, it is the Wild Wild West days. It feels 08. It's kind of fun. Oh, one other thing that came up was, okay, stuff is a lot of outlets, like the information is behind a paywall. And right now, unless it's something of an outlet where it's like gives you 3 articles for free and then you're at your max. Right now, as it stands, the chats are not able to pull from stuff that's gated. Is that correct? To our best knowledge.
Yeah, so there's meters and gates. So gated content is where I can never see the body, but I can see the headline. Metered is where I can only see a few. But anything metered, anything metered, metered is good. Metered is fine, no issues there. Gated, it can see the headline. So the headline can still have an effect, but the body cannot.
Got it. Okay. Anything else you'd like to add?
Nope. That's it.
Nope. Well, one thing I want to add for everyone who's listening. Okay, Ethan, like the budgets you work with are like $30K a month and up, right?
Yep.
More or less. Okay. So I want to like plant in everyone's mind. This is not some little scrappy, like, $2,000 a month. You're going to get that. No, 30K a month minimum. And one thing that stood out to me yesterday, Ethan, and this is the same with us, is like, you're not a tech tool. No, you are a service company. You are doing it all. You're doing the ranking of this.
Yeah, and probably
need to. Same thing for us. Like we do the PR. Like we're doing all the calls to set up the interviews, to do the things, to do the pitching, to do it. It's not a tool.
Yeah, and the reason why is because all the stuff that I just told you, it's hard to do those things. Like I could give you these ideas and then nothing happens. And that's actually pretty common with services, is where here's a bunch of strategy and then nothing happens. And so that's why we have people who not only say good ideas, but we can actually implement this stuff so that we can get things launched. So that's why we just have to spend a lot on the team to do that, which is why we're expensive.
Yes. Exactly. One last thing. What about you have podcasts galore or they're on YouTube or anything? Is that all helpful as well?
I find my content pretty good.
Okay.
I post my stuff on LinkedIn. That's probably the best place. Or if you go to our blog,
Yes.
graphite.io/5%, then you can subscribe to our newsletter, and then we'll post stuff
Oh,
via email.
I'm talking about, because every GP wants to have a podcast. Like, is podcast content, and especially if it's on Spotify or it's on YouTube with videos, is that helpful at all? Is YouTube helpful? I haven't seen too many attributions on YouTube.
YouTube is helpful. You're talking about for your question is about for LLMs.
Yes,
YouTube is
correct.
definitely helpful. Now, videos that have been viewed and videos that are targeting something. So if it's something like what's the best payroll management software, blah, blah, like if you have a video about that, that's great. You probably don't have a podcast episode about payroll management software. It's probably like
Yeah.
Ethan and Beck chatting about
Yeah.
like that's not going to
this
do
topic.
anything for AEO. Now, podcasts on their own can be very effective, separate from AEO. Like I do
Yes.
podcasts about the subject; they do really well.
Yes.
But I wouldn't say that podcast episodes would get picked up a lot by LLMs. It would be
Mhm.
targeted stuff about a topic a prompt that you want to
Yeah.
or where the title's about that thing, not Ethan and Becker chatting about PR.
Yeah. Okay. Noted. Ethan, thank you so much. I know we're at time, so we'll rock and roll. Cool.
I mean,
Thanks.